Welcome back. I want you to try a little experiment. Go to your kitchen cabinet, find a bag of chips, pick it up, shake it. Does it feel lighter? Does it feel like you're holding a bag of helium with a few potato crumbs at the bottom? No, go find a roll of toilet paper from a brand new pack. Look at the cardboard tube in the middle. Does it look bigger than it used to? Does the roll look looser? If you have felt like you're going crazy in the grocery store lately, I have good news and bad news. The good news is, you are not crazy. Your memory is fine. The bad news is, you are being gaslighted by some of the largest corporations on Earth. We are living through an epidemic of shrinkflation. It is the silent assassin of your bank account. While everyone is arguing about the official inflation rate, is it 3%? Is it 4%? Corporations have found a loophole. They know that if they raise the price of a candy bar from $2 to $3, you will riot. You will stop buying it. But if they keep the price at $2 and simply shave off 10% of the chocolate, you probably won't notice until you finish it 2 bites early. It is a hidden tax. It is a magic trick. And it is reshaping the entire economy. Today, we are going to expose the most egregious examples of the incredible shrinking grocery cart. We are going to look at the dark art of Waneta's Skimpflation, where they don't just shrink the size, they ruin the ingredients. And we are going to explain why your government OS inflation statistics are basically lying to you because they don't know how to measure a smaller cookie. Buckle up. We are about to pay full price for half a video. Let's start with the visuals, because the psychology here is fascinating. Corporations hire armies of psychologists and designers to trick your eye. There is a scientific principle called just noticeable difference. It is the threshold at which the human brain notices a change. If I take 10% of your money, you notice. If I make a bottle 10% shorter, you notice. But if I keep the bottle the same height, but make the waist a little curvier, if I indent the bottom of the peanut butter jar by half an inch, your brain registers same size. Let's look at Gatorade. This is a classic case study. For years, the standard bottle was 32 ounces. It was a brick. It was reliable. Then suddenly, the bottle got a redesign. It became aerodynamic. It got a gripper in the middle, so it was easier to hold. It looked cool. It looked modern. It was also 28 ounces. The price remained exactly the same. That is a 14% price increase overnight, disguised as a feature. They sold you less liquid and told you it was an ergonomic upgrade. Or look at Doritos. Frito-Lay admitted that they took 5 chips out of the bag. Just 5. They said, we didn't want to raise the price, so we adjusted the weight. 5 chips doesn't sound like much, but multiply 5 chips by millions of bags sold every day. That is millions of pounds of corn and seasoning they don't have to pay for. While you pay the same $5.99, you aren't buying chips anymore, you're buying expensive nitrogen. And my personal favorite, toilet paper. Calculating the value of toilet paper requires a degree in advanced calculus. 6. Mega rolls equals 24 regular rolls. What does that even mean? Manufacturers have been steadily widening the cardboard tube and narrowing the sheets. Charmaine reduced their super mega roll from 396 sheets to 366 sheets. That is a month of toilet paper for a family, vanished into thin air for the same price. It is literally flushing your money down the toilet. But shrinkflation has an even uglier cousin. It's called skimpflation. Shrinkflation is when they give you less of the product. Skimpflation is when they give you the same amount but make the product worse. This is happening right now, and it is dangerous because it affects your health. Companies are quietly swapping out expensive, high-quality ingredients for cheap, processed fillers. Have you noticed that your favorite granola bar tastes a little more like cardboard? Or that your butter spread doesn't melt quite right? Let's look at Smart Balance butter substitute. Consumers started noticing it didn't melt on toast. It just sat there. Why? Because the company reduced the oil content from 64% to 39% and filled the rest with water. They sold you a tub of water and called it butter. After a massive backlash, they changed it back, but most companies don't get caught. Look at Breyer's ice cream. Next time you're at the store, look at the carton. Does it say ice cream, or does it say frozen dairy dessert? Legally, to be called ice cream, a product must contain a certain amount of milk fat. Breyer's and other brands have slowly replaced the cream with corn syrup and gums. They crossed the legal line and had to change the label. It looks like ice cream. It is in the ice cream aisle. But it is legally frozen dessert. You are paying 2026 prices for a product that is objectively lower quality than what you bought in 2010. This is the hidden inflation that the government numbers miss. If a burger still costs $5, but the meat is now 30% soy filler, the data says zero inflation, but your stomach knows the truth. Why do they do this? Why not just raise the price? Because companies are terrified of price thresholds. In the mind of the consumer, there are psychological walls. A bag of chips at $4.99 feels okay. A bag of chips at $5.29 feels expensive. That 30-cent difference can cause sales to drop by 20%. So, brand managers have a meeting. They look at the rising cost of cocoa or wheat or transportation. They realized they are losing money. They have two choices. Option A, raise the price to $5.50 and anger the customer. Option B, keep the price at $4.99, but shrink the package from 16 ounces to 14.5 ounces. They choose option B every single time. They rely on the fact that you are busy, you are tired, you have screaming kids in the cart. You're not checking the net weight in the bottom corner of the package. You're grabbing the blue bag because you always grab the blue bag. It is predatory. It exploits consumer habit. And once they shrink a product, it never goes back up. Have you ever seen a company announce, "Great news, we lowered the price of cocoa so the candy bar is big again"? Never. When costs go down, they keep the smaller size and pocket the profit. It is a one-way street. Now, let's talk about the macroeconomics. Why does the government say inflation is cooling when you feel broke? The Consumer Price Index, CPI, is the main tool the U.S. government uses to measure inflation. The Bureau of Labor Statistics sends people into stores to check prices. They try to account for shrinkflation. They look at the price per ounce, but they are terrible at measuring quality, skimpflation, and utility. If a hotel stops cleaning your room every day and only cleans it once a week, but charges the same price, that is inflation. You're getting less service for the same money, but the CPI counts that as price stable. If a customer service line replaces humans with a useless AI chatbot, the price of the service didn't go up, but the value collapsed. This is why there is such a disconnect between the data and the vibes. The data says inflation is 3%. The vibes say everything sucks and everything's expensive. Both are true. The price tag didn't move, but the world got smaller, cheaper, and worse. This creates a feeling of systemic unfairness. It feels like the system is chipping away at your quality of life, 1 ounce at a time. It's not just groceries, it's the legroom on airplanes. It's the durability of clothes. Fast fashion falls apart in 3 washes. That is shrinkflation of lifespan. We are paying luxury prices for disposable lives. There's no greater example of this absurdity than the rebranding of sizes. Go to the chip aisle. What used to be a regular bag is now a single serve. What used to be a family size is now just a bag. And now we have party size, mega size, and colossal size. The party size of 2026 is actually just the regular size of 1995. We're being upsold to buy massive quantities just to get a decent value. If you buy the small bag, you're getting ripped off. The price per ounce is astronomical. So you are forced to buy the party size for $7. This forces you to consume more. It's a cycle. They shrink the product to keep the price down. Then they introduce a bigger product at a higher price and tell you it's just a deal. So how do we fight back? Can we fight back? The sad truth is, as long as we keep buying, they will keep shrinking. But you have one weapon. It is small. It is usually printed in tiny font on the shelf tag. But it is powerful. It is called unit price. Stop looking at the big price tag, $4.99. Look at the tiny orange or yellow number in the corner that says price per ounce or price per 100 gram. That is the only truth in the grocery store. That number cuts through the new look and the 20% more air. BS. If the unit price goes up, you are being scammed. Switch brands, buy the generic. Store brands, like Costco's Kirkland or Walmart's Great Value, are often made in the exact same factories as the big brands, but they engage in less shrinkflation because they don't have to spend millions on marketing. The next time you pick up a chocolate bar and it feels a little too light, put it back. Because if we don't draw the line somewhere, pretty soon we're going to be paying $10 for a bag of classic Lay's. That is nothing but a puff of salty air and a QR code. Let me know in the comments. What is the most ridiculous example of shrinkflation you have seen lately? Was it the cereal, the dish soap, or the size of the burger at your favorite fast food joint? Don't forget to like and subscribe, because my videos are still 100% full length. I'll see you in the next one.